In Ocean Springs, Mississippi, the ICU is full.
I need tubing and another pump, please.
Every patient here battling COVID, every one of them on a ventilator. 15 miles east, it's the same story. The nursing staff at a breaking point.
I come in here and it's war. It's sometimes chaos.
Just 38% of Mississippi's population is fully vaccinated. Along the Gulf Coast, it's even worse, hovering around 30%, pushing new cases and hospitalizations higher. Officials warn there aren't enough beds, but on the front lines, the focus isn't space, it's staff.
There's not a bed shortage. There's a nursing shortage.
We have had situations in here with COVID, with people this critical, where two people start to go bad at once. And you have to decide which room you run to. It's a hard decision to make.
The stress of those decisions, of the growing number of young COVID patients and preventable death, brought Nicole to a breaking point earlier this month.
You made the decision to resign. Why?
Sometimes it feels like we're fighting a losing battle.
Yet a week after that conversation, Nicole was still in the ICU.
I realized as I was saying goodbye to these nurses here that I couldn't leave them in the middle of this.
Nicole is cutting back her hours. But for now, her resignation is on hold.
That's where a nurse's heart comes in, you know. You don't want to see your coworker suffer as much as you don't want to see a patient suffer.
While it helps, one nurse choosing to stay isn't enough.
You got everything you need?
Mississippi has at least 2,000 fewer nurses than it did at the beginning of the year.
It looks heroic and but that's not what it is. It's sweaty and hard and chaotic and bloody.
I didn't even know really what burnout meant as a nurse until I hit COVID.
Melissa Davis has worked in the ICU for 17 years. It's never been this bad.
I've seen a turnover in nurses I never would have thought would have turned over because I can't take it no more.
Do you feel that you're close to a breaking point?
I think we already broke.
Burnout, stress, grueling hours. There are multiple reasons career nurses are choosing to leave.
We've been seeing it probably hit a peak recently. We have over 120 nursing vacancies open right now.
When they do, that experience is also lost.
It takes years of training to get to the point where you can actually take care of a COVID patient. This is nothing like we've seen before.
The head of Singing River Hospital System is now urging the state to use some of its $1.8 billion in COVID relief funding for retention bonuses.
We need to give them an incentive to want to stay and continue to be a nurse.
I think every little bit helps. Do I think it's going to fix the problem? A lot of nurses have told me it's not about the money at this point. It's about I need to recharge my battery.
Yet with fewer staff and a surge in patients, that chance to recharge increasingly difficult to find.
It's hard to see a 34-year-old with a family not make it. You can't describe that.
To have friends, colleagues who understand that, it's the only way we're all getting through this, is because we have each other.